Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Cosmic Readings and Messages for Tuesday night, September 10th, 2019. It is 8:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on the East Coast of the United States. And I've already got the cards out and asked the spirits and angels to give and the universe to give proper and truthful messages for our general readings tonight. I don't know how long I'll stay on until I start getting tired and until the universe tells me to stop. So it could be a half hour, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. We'll just see how it goes. Sometimes things get cluttered. If a lot of people come into the chat room, it can be a case of too many messages coming through. So you're hearing an echo of me in the background because that is the stream that I'm monitoring in the background. So let me just turn the audio off on that. I just want to make sure that we are live and that everything is working. So anyway, so there is a slight delay, as you can tell. So I may not get to your reading immediately because, I may have already started it and you may not even realize it. Tonight is for general readings only, no specific questions. The reason for that is people come into the chat room and they start asking all kinds of questions, and then there's sort of a little bit of bickering going on, online minor bullying going on. I was first, or you didn't get to me, you skipped over me, and I want to know about this, I want to know about that. So to avoid the confusion and to avoid that kind of stuff happening online, I'm just doing the general readings tonight. So if you want a general reading, I am happy to do that. I do see Mia D in the chat room, so I will wave to you. Hello, Mia. And we'll see if anybody else comes into the chat room. Before I start tonight, it is September 10th, 2019. Tomorrow is September 11th, which of course is a significant day in U.S. history, United States history. 9/11 back in 2001, 19 years ago. It's hard to believe that it's been that many years. I'm actually looking out the window here, and I do believe I do see the Twin Tower lights to my east, northeast a little bit from where I am. It's way off in the distance, but I do think I do see some lights out there. They usually test them the night before or 2 nights before, and it looks like they are doing that. It could be another type of glow from where I am because I don't have the lights off, but I am looking out the window over there. It's sort of a significant day for me because back in 2001, and I made a mistake, it's 18 years ago. This day, this was a Monday back in 2001. That was a Tuesday when it happened. I was actually on vacation that week. And I'll never forget it because you hear these stories of people who were almost there and just by a twist of fate, they weren't. I actually have one of those stories because I was on vacation that week from my full-time job. I have family out west, and I was actually going to go visit them that week. I figured, it's after the holidays, after the peak heat season, after vacation time period. So it's beginning to cool off a little bit. Traveling might be a little bit easier since people are back at work, back at school. And I could go visit my family out west. And that was going to happen that week of September 10th back in 2001. So I took that entire week off. And as it turned out, the Saturday before, my car started acting funny. So I had to call the dealership and see if I could bring my car in to have whatever was going on checked out. What was happening was my car would go about 3 or 4 miles and then just the engine would stop. And I'd have to pull over And it was like, not overheating, not anything like that. It would just stop. Like, it would just cut off. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, I'd be able to restart the car. Before that, I couldn't turn the key and like nothing would happen. It would just be like the car was dead. I thought the battery was dead. But then just a few minutes later, the car started right up and I could drive again for another like 3 or 4 miles. And then it would stop again. So you can't take a trip, which I was going to drive on the trip, with your car doing that. So I called the dealership and they scheduled my appointment for September 11th. Now, in the meantime, the week before, since I was supposed to be on vacation, before this all happened, I was going to go, like I said, out west. Um, that was my big plan. And then, Friday and Saturday, like I said, my car started acting up. Saturday it was really, really bad. Got the appointment for September 11th. So I called some friends. And I said, let's do something. The weather looks nice. And I'm stuck in the area, so let's take the train into the city. I'll drop my car off, but I don't know when that's going to be. It might be in the afternoon or whatever. As it turned out, actually, you know what? I got part of the story wrong. They made my original appointment for September 10th for that Monday. They said, come in on Monday. We'll try to get you in. So I said, all right. So I called my friends. I'm like, my car is going to be in the shop. That's really what it was. My car was going to be in the shop for that day and possibly into Tuesday, September 11th. I'm sorry, I got that kind of mixed up. But that was the deal. And so my plans had all changed. I couldn't drive out west. And so I called friends to see if they wanted to do something. Turned out two of my friends that were also available for the first part of that week said, well, why don't we go into the city, which I don't normally like to go into New York City because I'm not a city person. But I said, oh, sure, there's like the museum we could go to and this and that, and things that I like to go to if I'm in the city and have lunch and whatever. And then one of my friends said, well, my sister works in the World Trade Center up in the restaurant up near the top. I was like, oh, wait, cool, we could go early. Go early in the morning, have breakfast at the World Trade Center, go up to the observation deck because I don't have a problem with heights, and I've never been up there before. And that's great. We can do that Monday or Tuesday. And it turned out Tuesday was the better day, where we could take the train in because I didn't know what the deal was going to be with my car. So anyway, as it turned out, Monday, I had an appointment for I think it was 10 or 11 o'clock. And the dealership called me and said, we're going to have to postpone you till tomorrow, Tuesday. Can you come in the morning? And I said, sure. So they changed my appointment to 9:30 in the morning. So I was like, okay. So I had to call my friends and say, guess what? I'm not available tomorrow. Sorry. Maybe we can do it. Maybe we could meet up in the afternoon, or can somebody pick me up at the car dealership, and maybe we can go in the afternoon if that works out. So it turned out one friend was like, well, no, maybe it's not a good day. And then another one was like, yeah, if it's going to be the afternoon, we got it, and somebody's going to pick it. No, let's just do it another day, maybe Wednesday. I was like, all right. One friend was still going to do it, but I was like, let me see what's going to happen at the car dealership. Maybe we can plan something else. So anyway, long story short, I know it's already long. I was stuck going to the car dealership that morning, and I was actually on a nearby bridge because I'm in New Jersey, looking east that morning. I was on the road because I had to keep stopping because my car would keep stopping. And I was on a bridge where the car had stopped, and there was people standing on the bridge. Now, at that point, the first impact had already happened, so there was smoke coming out of the first World Trade Center building. And so there I was stuck on the bridge and waiting the couple of minutes for my car to start. And it was a local bridge. I'm not talking about a major highway or anything like that. And watching this and hearing it on the radio, then my car died. So everybody's looking. After 3 minutes, my car started up again. Was able to move, but just before my car started, the second impact happened. And so I actually saw that second impact, but I was a far distance away. So all I saw was like suddenly there was another explosion. I didn't know if it was the other Trade Center building or if it was um, the same one, but another explosion because it was off in the distance. The World Trade Center, the towers looked like one. It was just like little tiny specks off in the distance, but you could see all the smoke and everything. Once I got my car started and turned on the radio, there was another impact. Got to the dealership, and of course, with all the chaos, the workers were all leaving, so my car got there, and they told me within like an hour to turn around and go home, be very, very careful driving, and they would try to reschedule me because all the technicians were going to pick up their kids at school. I mean, you could imagine what it was like that morning. So I got stuck. So what I wound up doing was sitting at home. And if you've joined the general readings, I'm just talking about September 11th, my own personal experience, how I avoided being in New York City in the World Trade Center that particular morning. But it wound up, I'm a big-time blood donor. I'm one of those people that like always donates blood. I just go because I think it's a good thing to do, and I'm a type that that the blood center likes. I'm also negative in all the things that they want to be negative on the tests and stuff. So I do that. Also, I used to be an EMT and a first aider, and I was still certified as a professional rescuer. But here I was stuck at home. I wasn't part of any emergency squad or anything like that at the time. And there I was sitting at home watching all this happen, and I'm just sitting there going, I need to do something. I'm stuck here at home. It's my vacation, but this is happening not too far away, and maybe I can help. I'm just that kind of person. And so I wound up calling the local rescue squad and telling them about my credentials and that I wasn't part of any squad or team or anything like that. But if there was any help that I could do, I'd be willing to volunteer. So as it was, they were going. There was a lot of people, a lot of emergency crews from the tri-state area that were heading to New York City. So as it was, there I was in an ambulance at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, going into the city, and we were there into the evening till about, I guess about 11:30, 12 o'clock or so. No. It was after midnight. We actually got to nearby World Trade Center around, I guess it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we were there till maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning. Not very long. They had so many emergency crews. They were bringing them in and shipping them back out. So we were staged in New Jersey, on the New Jersey side of the river, and then we went into the city, and then we had to come back out after a certain amount of time. What I did was, we were a few blocks away from Ground Zero, and I wound up helping people get their eyes washed, and helping figure out like who's coming out of the Ground Zero area, who needed to go to get emergency care, and who just needed some time and needed some just general Band-Aids or eye wash or cleaning off or comforting or whatever. So we were doing that. So I did that for a couple of hours. And I will admit, there was things that I saw coming out of the smoke and ash, and it was a very, very eerie scene. Even with all the lights set up where we were, the visibility was still very, very low, and it was very dusty, and we did have masks on. And luckily I've suffered no major issues. I did have what they called World Trade Center cough for a number of years, but that's now cleared up. I do have coughing fits every now and then. It used to be at least a couple of times a day, but now it's like once a day, if at all. So luckily nothing came of that. But anyway, that's my 9/11 story. So yes, I was there. Luckily I wasn't there when it happened, but I did what I could to help with the aftermath. So to this day, I still have not gone back to that. I've been back into the city. It took me several years to ever go back into the city. I just had like this, it wasn't a phobia, but it was almost like taboo. Like I just could not go back into the city. But finally I did. And then I haven't gone back to where the memorial is in the museum. I want to go back there. I do see and hear things. I pick up on stuff, and I'm almost afraid. There's that inner fear of what I'm going to pick up. It may be overwhelming for me. I worked until earlier this year in Jersey City, New Jersey. That was my last job, and I saw the Freedom Tower, the location, like every single day. It was kind of nice to be there on 9/11 because I would stay at night and take pictures of the tower lights from right across the river. And I always got, a weird feeling and that little bit of apprehension about wanting to go back over there. I think at some point I would. Tomorrow I can't, so. But I think one of these days, maybe next year or the year after, if I can, and I may wind up getting a full-time job somewhere outside of the state. So who knows if I'll ever get the chance to go back there. But one of these days I would like to go back to Ground Zero and just see what I do pick up on, and maybe say a prayer for everyone at that location, because it was that night. I won't get into the full story because there was a lot more that I could talk about, but that's not for this forum, and it would just take a very, very long time. So anyway, on to our readings and messages tonight, now that it's 8:53, so I've wasted a lot of time doing that. Let's see, we've got Mia. Oh, and let's see. And I commend you for your service. Well, I wasn't looking for anything. I didn't get paid for it. It was one of those things. There's just those things you do in life where you just say, this is something that I can do and I should do and I need to do right now. And that was one of those things. I could not just sit home and watch all of this going on TV, looking out my window off into the distance and seeing the smoke in the sky, because it was a beautiful day that day. The only smoke that you saw in the sky was coming from New York City. So, it was one of those things where I just had to. I couldn't just sit at home. Now, to start things off tonight, I'm going to ask the spirits and angels in the universe for a message for myself, since I am looking for full-time work. I'm in a very dark place now as far as work and finances are concerned. So, and I'm very concerned about that, and I had hoped by this point this year something would have come along. I'm putting my name in for a job. I'm waiting for a couple of friends to write me letters of recommendation, people that I've worked with and I've known for a very, very long time. So I can apply for one job that would fit me perfectly, and I would have to move for it. But spirits, angels, what message do you have for me? I'm going to start with myself just to get the cards warmed up and get the angels and the universe and the spirits going here. And I'll share it with whoever's watching or even on the repeat. What message do the spirits and angels have for me in general right now? Not necessarily anything particular, but what message would the spirits, angels, and the universe have for me right now from the angel cards? And the cards are kind of loose. They're moving very smoothly. They're not locking up, so I don't think I'm going to get a earth-shattering important message. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, that's rather nice for myself. I got the Shanti card, which is the Angel of Peace. A very, very beautiful card. I like this card. And it's a good general message. I am the Angel of Peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Well, I certainly could use that personally. Beautiful card. I really like the message on it. And yeah, it's just, and these cards have a extended message. So the Shanti card, since it is for me, and I always want to just go back and check it out, see what else it means. It says, well, the additional message starts out perfectly. You have been through turmoil and your soul is tired. And all I can say is, yes, angels, that is true. Your mind craves peace and quiet. Oh, yes. And I am here to help you with that desire. I will give you new opportunities to spend time alone where you can relax your mind and heart. I will bring tranquility to your soul so that you can mirror the peace of mind that is your true divine nature. Well, that is true. I like to be a very peaceful person. Like the angels, you are able to hover within the eye of any hurricanes that may swirl around you right now. Yeah, that's true. I've been going through a lot. Through breath an intention, you can stay centered no matter what's happening in your life. Yeah, I really do try that. This inner foundation of peace has a powerful healing effect. Your outer life soon reflects your inner peacefulness. Smooth roads are ahead for you, and the worst is behind you now. A peaceful outcome to the situation is assured. Well, that is a very, very nice message. Thank you, spirits and angels. I certainly do need a peaceful and tranquil road ahead. And, well, that angel's telling me it's assured, so I really hope that's true. And I'll believe them. I know something good will be coming soon. It almost has to at this point. Can't get any worse. So, thank you, spirits and angels. So, general readings only tonight. Move that little sign there. Straighten it out on the screen there. So, let's see. We have Mia D in the chat room, who's hope still there after I've been babbling for so long. And I'm guessing Mia D would like a general reading. So, for Mia in the chat room, spirits and angels, please come forward. The universe, please send your energy to these cards. And what message do we have for Mia in the chat room? What general message do we have for Mia in the chat room? Now the cards are actually acting kind of weird, and they're locking up just a wee bit. All right. Actually, okay, the two cards came out. And they weren't stuck together. It was kind of weird because I was in the middle of a shuffle, and like one card sort of like flipped out, and then the other one came out on top. So Mia, you've got two cards. So we'll just go with both of them. You've got the Indriel card, very beautiful card, and Isabella, and it looks like both of these cards are very positive. Indriel says, "You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants." How sweet that is. You know, whenever that message comes out, it's just like what the angels are saying is like, you're a really good person, and the universe needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Now, that could be... sometimes, you know, what I'm feeling, and actually, let me tell you what the Isabella card is. The Isabella card says, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So if there's something going on where you're hoping for something, this could be a new job. If you're looking for one, this could be a move. This could be just any type of situation that you're sort of hoping for something. They're telling you that a happy outcome will follow your positive expectation. And they're also saying the timing is right for this new venture, whatever it is. So that's what the Isabella card is all about. Very, very nice card. Okay, I see in your chat room you just typed a new job, actually. So are you starting a new job or you're looking for one? Either way, if you're looking, something's coming really soon. If you're about to start one, your positive expectations will be coming true. So I would say whatever this new thing is, you're going to shine light because you're a light worker. You're going to bring light to wherever this is, which is just a really, really nice message. Okay, so you see there's a delay between live and what I see, because by the time you hear what I've already said, it's at least a few seconds, if not like 30 seconds later. So when you type something in the chat room, it comes in a little bit late after I've already said something. So you say you're looking for a job. So your positive expectations are going to come true. It's going to happen. Timing is right for this new venture. So that's telling me that if there's been a delay, divine timing is now on your side. The angels are saying now the timing is right. So something is going to be coming up fairly soon. which is also a really, really good message if you're looking, right? It's good to know that something is coming along. Um, and that's following your positive expectations. So if there is a job that you're thinking would be good, or you've already applied and you've gone through the interview process and you just got a good feeling, that may be the one that comes through. That's what I'm picking up. I'm going to go ahead and pull a major arcana card to see if there's any other message. Since this is supposed to be general, but it's focused in on possibly what you're thinking of. I'm just going to see, Spirits, Angels, Universe, please come forward. In the major arcana cards, what major important message does Mia D in the chat room need to know right now to go along with these two angel cards? And these cards are also acting flaky, as I like to say, or locking up, which means there is an important message trying to come forward. And okay, now this is interesting. You got the Tower card. Now, the Tower card, some people think is like a scary card, like, oh, it's the end of the world. But no, it's an abrupt change because it needed to happen. The tower itself falls because it's built on a crappy foundation. It's literally. It got struck by lightning because it didn't have a lightning rod. So you build a new one. So the tower can sometimes mean unwanted change or ruin, upheaval, violence. So it's something that happens like really quickly and unexpectedly. If it was the loss of a previous job, and this could actually be something else that's going on. You could be having a tower moment. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, but something is about to change. But it's because it needs to change. All of these darker cards, when they come up, these ones that are like, oh, terrible stuff's happening. If you look at them, and I'm going to put this up closer, even it's like doom and gloom, but you look in the distance, the sky is brighter off in the distance. It's not all dark and doom and gloom. Off in the distance, there's brightness. It's because this will not last forever. It's happening for a reason. So if this has to do with the previous job, then it's already happened, and it's going to be, something new will rise from the ashes. A new tower is built. It could also represent something entirely different. Could be your life in general. So I wouldn't worry too much about it because you've got those two other nice cards. This could just be like a confirmation for you personally. Let me just look over in the chat room. Oh, it says, okay, you said you've had a couple of tower moments. Okay, so I think what was happening here is because I didn't ask for anything, if you remember, what I asked for, is there another message from the major arcana for Mia in the chat room? I did not ask for anything specific. So this is their message to you. So I think what they're saying is, yes, if you already know what this means, if this makes sense to you, that's what counts. Because like I said, it could be anything. And I wasn't picking up on anything in particular, like career or love or job or, home life or family. I wasn't picking up on anything. There was nothing that was coming through. So I was just saying it could be anything. It could be related to this, or maybe not. That's why I said that, because it could be for anything. So it made sense to you, obviously. So there you go. For Mia in the chat room. Tower moment. And it made sense to you. That's the important part. Okay, now I don't see anyone else in the chat room that's posting any questions. So tonight may actually be a short set of readings. It was sort of a last minute thing. I got home earlier this evening, and oh, look at that almost full moon outside. I'm looking outside through this window, and I see the moon off to the south. It's almost full. We're coming up with the full moon later on this week for the month of September. So before I go on to my next thing, while we still have Mia in the chat room, And feel free to hang around because I do have another set of questions I'm going to ask the spirits and angels in general. But from the minor arcana cards, is there a message for Mia? Since the tower was something that was just a confirmation of what she already knew, and that was just the angels and spirits' way of confirming that they were speaking to her, it totally made sense. From the minor arcana card, what message do we have for Mia? What something does Mia have to know from the minor arcana cards in general? Now, I consider the minor arcanas to be like space fillers, like they fill in the blanks of the major and the angel messages. They give like the rest of the story. And so what you got here, and this will probably make sense to you. You got the Knight of Pentacles. Nice card. I usually think of the knights as messengers. Now I know it's the pages that are historically the messengers, but I also think of the knights as messengers. They carry in a message. Sometimes they come in, on their horse, trotting in with like a lot of exuberance, and some of them just sort of stroll in like, here I am. The Knight of Pentacles is just like he's one of those knights that just sort of just is there and like, here I am, here's your pentacle. Now pentacles usually represent material things. It could be money. So, the knight, this particular message for the Knight of Pentacles is talking about a person that's reliable, a hard worker. So maybe this is you, Mia. Somebody who is patient. Obviously, if you're looking for work, you have to have some patience. That would apply to me. But also, since he's holding that pentacle, the Knight of Pentacles there, he's holding that pentacle, which again is money or material things. You could also see it, and like I usually say in these readings, is I go along with like the general meaning of the card, but also the picture itself has a meaning, and I look at that. So, the Knight of Pentacles is also talking about faithfulness and being loyal. So that could be you, Mia. That could be describing you. But because he's holding that pentacle, and if you look at the picture, he's on his horse and he's just sitting there, and he's holding up that pentacle. It's like if you look at him, it's almost like he's looking at you and saying, I bring you a message that your pentacle is coming. So, and that's just based on the picture. And I'm just going to sit here until you take it. Because I got it here. That's your message. Your pentacle is coming. So, there is the standard meaning of the card. But also, I think it means material things are coming. Money is coming. Not like abundance or whatever, but that's what the pentacle stands for. So you're going to have that coming. And if you're looking for work, you already gotten the message that your positive expectations will be coming true. You're a light worker, so wherever this is, you're going to bring your light there, and it should work out very nicely. You've had your tower moments. Now you get your reward. You get the job. Your material things and money will be okay. So I think, that's what's coming through with this Knight of Pentacles, because I do personally see the knights as messengers. He's carrying that pentacle. That is part of the message for you. You've got that pentacle coming. Now, wouldn't it have been nice if you got the ace? But, the ace is just like one that's being held out. And, I said that for a reason, because, the Ace of Pentacles is like the universe is holding it out. It's the gift from the universe of the pentacle. But in this particular picture, this is a person holding the pentacle out. This is not the universe. This is a person. If you get the job, obviously you're going to get paid. And someone's going to pay you. The company or business or person's going to pay you. And so they're holding the pentacle and they're holding it out to you. That's going to be your gift. You're going to get the new job, and you're going to get money, and you'll be able to buy material things and take care of yourself with it. So, it's funny how the messages come through like that, because I do see the knights as messengers, and this particular card just has that message. And just looking at the picture, it reminds me a lot of the ace, but it's a person holding out the gift, not the universe, and that would be tied to work. See that? Isn't that really nice how those messages just come through? I will ask now for the spirits and angels. I did this last week, and please feel free to go back and read. Not read, but watch the videos from last week, especially what was it, Thursday and Friday, or Friday and Saturday. I forget what days. I did some live readings, and when there was nobody in the chat room, I asked the spirits and angels and the universe to come forward for messages for the United States of America as a nation and the world. I also asked for a message for on the next day for the political parties of the United States, not any particular person or people, but for the parties themselves. And I got some messages about those. So if you're interested in finding out what messages came through, go back and watch those previous ones. Oh, it looks like it's me, Ariel, in the chat room. So I guess Ariel's in the chat room because it's me, she says. So hello, Ariel, in the chat room. I'll wave to you. It is 9:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on the East Coast of the United States. Just did a general reading for Mia, which it appears to me resonated. And what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and get the angel cards warmed up and start shuffling and ask them for what general message do the angels and spirits in the universe have for It's Me, Ariel, in the chat room. And by the way, I know I come through as cosmic readings and messages, but my name is Bill. So it's me, Bill. I'm your cosmic readings and messages person. And while I'm going through the cards here, waiting for something to pop for Ariel, I will mention that the 777 is there for a reason. My first, middle, and last name are all 7 letters, and it was not intentional by my parents. And I've been told by several people that that was significant. There was a reason for that. And for some of the things that I've experienced in my life, which I may talk about in just a couple of minutes. But Ariel, this is just for general message tonight. So if they come through with a message about love, that's fine with me. But I'm not doing anything specific tonight. What general message do we have for Ariel? Whatever that may be, whatever the angels, spirits, and the universe want Ariel to know. It's me, Ariel, in the chat room, who's watching and listening right now. What message do you have for It's Me, Ariel? Come on through. Cuckoo, cuckoo. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, here's the message that they got for you. You got the Maya card or Maya card. And this is the study card. Schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. Now, I don't know if It's Me, Ariel is an actual student in college, high school, or going back to school, or not. But this card can represent that, of course. It could also represent having to take a class for work. I sometimes see this card as a card for you have to get certified for something at work. Or it's just generally you want to learn something. And schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. So, and the angels will guide you and help you with this process. So, this is telling me that that's what you need to keep in mind. So whatever you're learning, and it could be a case of, and I'm not picking up anything specific, and I'll pull another angel card, but I'm not picking up anything specific on this. It could just be you want to learn something new, and maybe as a challenge for yourself. So that's could be what that's about. Um, Let me pull another angel card. Is there another general message for... Okay. That's an interesting thing to come through. You got one of the ultimate cards, as I like to call them. There's a couple of cards that I call the ultimate cards. You got the Omega card, which is the victory card. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So something is coming up where you're going to be victorious. That's what I'm getting. And maybe that's following whatever the schooling, study, education thing that's here. Again, this could be school. This could be getting a certification. This could be simply taking a test or something for a job where you have to study something or whatever, because it's going to help with your life purpose, and the angels are going to be helping you. But I think it's going to lead to this victory. Your desire is coming to fruition. So this is going to lead to something really good, and it says keep up the good work. I'm also picking up recognition. I am picking up recognition. You're going to be recognized for something, and I don't think this is immediate. I'm picking this up as something that's coming up, like fairly soon, maybe within the next month or two. Just for some reason, I just saw pumpkins and Halloween stuff. So maybe by Halloween time, something like really good's going to happen. It could also mean you like Halloween. Sometimes things just pop into my head for some reason. I mean, these cards are not scary. They're not Halloween-ish. But that just seems to have just popped into my head. So if that means anything to you, it's me, Ariel. That may be what that's about. I'm going to go ahead and pull one major arcana card to see if there's anything more the spirits, angels, and the universe have for It's Me, Ariel, in the chat room to go along with these two cards. Maybe clarification or a completely different message to keep in mind. That sometimes happens. They may have multiple messages for you. Or it could just be following a theme. But I think these two angel cards are definitely... one leads to the other. So let's see here. What major arcana card do the spirits and angels have for It's Me, Ariel, in the chat room to give additional message or clarification to the two angel cards? All right, these cards are acting what I call flaky and locked up, which means there is an important message attempting to make its way out. So I have to shuffle again and sort of organize them, and then we'll see what pops out. Okay, now these cards are really acting locked up. So something is trying to come forward. The message that wants to come forward will pop. Okay, here's the one that just flipped out in my hand. And this is a good card. Hello, Chris in the chat room. It's me, Ariel. You got the world. Very, very nice card. So you got the Omega card, you got the Ray card, you know, schooling, study, education, whatever that is going to lead to victory. And you've got the World card. And the World card is about cycles ending. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune, but it's also the completion. The World is the end of the major arcana. So you've reached the end. The cycle is complete. So it's about completion. Could be a goal, or you've learned a lesson. It could also talk about travel, but the big thing is like completion, like you're finished, and now you can move on to the next thing. So I think that's part of your victory. You're going to be victorious, and you're going to move on. One cycle has ended. You're now complete. It could also be everything is fine now. Like everything just worked out the way it's supposed to. And so now you move on to the next. It can also represent enlightenment. So maybe this, whatever you're learning about, is going to lead to victory, and you're just going to feel complete. Like you're victorious. You know, it just makes total sense how this all came together. So that World card is important. So do what you need to do. The spirits, angels, and the universe are there to help you and guide you through it. It's going to lead to your victory. You will be complete. You'll be finished with whatever that is, and you can move on to your next thing. Or It simply means you're about to move on to that next thing, which is going to be your victory. So that's what came through. It's me, Ariel. So hope that helped you out. Okay. And we got Chris in the chat room. Hello, Chris. I'll wave to you. Yes, we are doing general readings tonight until I get too tired or the room gets too quiet. I was going to ask a worldly question to the angels and spirits, but Chris came in. So your general reading will start now. I'm going to go through the cards. And what general message do the angels, spirits, and the universe have for Chris? What important message does Chris need to know about right now? On this rather beautiful evening here in the eastern U.S., a beautiful night with the almost full moon, the waxing gibbous moon out there I can see out the window. I do believe a little bit earlier I was looking out the other window and I saw, looking the other direction, I saw the Twin Tower lights. Even though it's not 9/11, I think they may have been doing a test tonight. I don't see that glow over in that direction now, so I think they may have been testing the lights. I'm not really close to ground zero, that area. It's off in the distance, but you can see those lights for quite a distance away. And I think I did see them earlier, reaching up into the beautiful night sky tonight. So what angelic message, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Hope I don't sound too funny here if I hiccup. For Chris in the chat room, angel, spirits, universe, please come forward. What angelic message? Okay. This is an interesting one. Maybe Chris knows what this is all about. This card usually pops with a specific question, but it popped up now. Oh wait, 2 cards came. There was actually 2 cards here. And they were like stuck together, and that was for a reason. So you got the Ariel card, or Ariel. Nice card. This card says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. So if you feel like you're in touch with the other side, as they say, follow through. Study, prayer, meditation. Allow your spiritual gift to grow. Now you also got this card. You got the Bridget card, which is the caution card. Caution is warranted. Look deeper into this situation before proceeding further. So if there's something, Chris, that's you're wondering about or you're concerned about, that caution card is there for a reason. I don't know what that's about, and I'm not picking up anything specific. What I am picking up is you should understand this message. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting you understand this message. And it says, look deeper into this situation before proceeding further. So it means you need to investigate what's going on a little bit more. There may be more to whatever the situation is. And then you can proceed, but you should do that. Investigate before proceeding further. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. I think, if you pay attention to your spiritual stuff, dreams, ideas, that kind of stuff, that may give you a clue as to how to look deeper into the situation. Yeah, I'm not. What I'm getting is the spirits, angels, the universe. They don't want to give me the specifics. They're saying this is a person. What they're basically letting me know is this is personal for you, whatever this is. And this is definitely tied into spiritual stuff. And you need to look into it, into yourself. And this card here, this is saying new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. And that yourself, thing is coming through. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. Now, normally I would say I would go to the major arcana cards and see if there is another message for you, but what I'm being pulled to is to pull another angel message card for you, Chris. So let me pull another angel card. I'm just going to go through these real quick. What additional angelic message do you have for Chris in the chat room? Because you're not giving me any insight as to what this is all about and what this caution is about and this personal thing. So does Chris need to have more of a clarification card? Not me. Does Chris need a clarification? Well, what clarification card represents the message for Chris in the chat room to help explain what this is all about? Now, I am looking at the chat room and it says, really weird dreams about violet light and no faces persons. You think you're a little confused, but I think the answer is in meditation, what I usually do. Okay, so they're agreeing with you with that other card. But I'm going to keep going through these cards here. What other message do we have for Chris to maybe clarify this a little bit more? What is this all about? Okay, now this is weird. This card flipped out, but I thought it was my own fault. I went through the deck I was shuffling through, and it popped out again. This exact same card popped twice. So this was the message that was supposed to come through. It's important. You got the Athena card, which is it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. I'm being drawn to reading the additional information on this card, to the Athena card. So the additional message, let me just pull this up here in the book. The Athena card also says, you have been afraid of your own power. You have worried that others would disapprove of you or leave you if you allowed your true power to shine. You have also been concerned that you might abuse your power and that your masculine energy would become unbalanced. I am here to help you reveal your power to yourself and others in a way that enhances your relationships, self-esteem, and life purpose. Your power comes from love, from God, which I say is the universe. You who are made in the image and likeness of your Creator have unlimited power within you right now. You aren't capable of abusing your power because your heart chakra has opened like a flower in bloom. Think of a person who you admire, who is both powerful and balanced in their masculine and feminine energies. Such power is beautiful. It also amplifies your spiritual healing and psychic gifts. You are a strong and powerful light worker, and God, which I call the universe, needs you to accept and reveal your power. So, again, this is all about inside you. This is about you, Chris. So, you have some untapped energy you need to explore and not be afraid of. And that's what it is. And I think the meditation that you pointed to is going in the right direction. And it will benefit yourself and others in a loving way. Because you actually do know how to use your power in a loving way. So, I don't know about the violet light and no faces persons. Again, the message that's coming through is this is about you. So you have to find the answer to what you're looking for. And it has to do with power. And this caution card it could be because you know, maybe you don't understand it or you don't know what to do with this power. And so you need to be cautious because you need to do things the right way. So, but if you look at the card, it's like someone who's meditating, someone who's concentrating. And so, like I always say, the picture in the card also has a representation in these readings. And the name Bridget, I'm also something is telling me that the name Bridget or the letter B or the letters in the name Bridget have some significance for you, Chris. I know it's not your name, but maybe you know a Bridget who might be able to help you, or someone, the letter B is significant too. I am picking up on that. But again, they're not, it's not, there's nothing that's like really coming out like do this, do that, or this is about this. This is all about inner stuff with you. This whole reading is about in your head and your energy and that kind of stuff. And it's something you need to look at yourself. So that's the message I'm getting. Okay? All right. So there you go. I do see Tarot TV with T was in the chat room at 9:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. My voice is beginning to crack just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the system off for a minute. The stream will keep going, but I need to get a quick drink of water. So I'm going to switch over to a beautiful picture I took last week of the, just a couple of days ago, I should say, of the first quarter moon in the daytime sky with some clouds. So just give me a moment. I'm going to get a quick drink of water, and I will be right back in just a moment. Okay, that wasn't too long. I have returned. Not only did I need a quick drink of water, but I also needed to ask the spirits and angels to clear the room, clear the energy, because after doing the reading for Chris, I was, and if Chris is still in the room, this is kind of weird. There was an overwhelming type of energy that I couldn't put my finger on that was coming through those cards. And it was actually making me get a little bit nervous. And I don't usually get that way. It's only sometimes when I'm doing a reading, and it could be specific or not. But sometimes there's just like an overwhelming type of energy that starts to come through. And before I can do anything else, I have to get rid of it. So I get a drink of water, or I just leave the room, and I ask the spirits and angels to just clear the slate. And those cards had to do with like an inner energy, and I think I may have been, they were tapping into that. So just a interesting bit of energy there. So right now I don't see any other messages in the chat room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very bold as we come up on this 18th anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow. If you haven't seen it already, watch the replay. But I'm going to ask the spirits and angels for a message for the world. What angelic message do the spirits and angels have for the world right now? Spirits, angels, universe, if you could get a message out to the entire planet, all the people of the earth, if they could all get the message, what message would you have for them? At 9:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on the East Coast of the United States, on this little Cosmic Readings and Messages channel, what message would you give the world? I know it's being very bold, but why not? What angelic message do the spirits and angels have for the world. All right, these cards are acting kind of weird. So yeah, I asked a bold question and they're beginning to lock up. They're not as loose as they normally are. So that means an important message is coming out. And of course, if I'm asking for the world, it makes sense that the spirits and angels are going to act with a lot of energy on these cards and want the right one to pop forth. So here we go. What message do we have for the world? Everybody on the planet. If you could get this message out to everyone, what would it be? Okay. This is interesting. I think this card popped last week or maybe the other day. It did. The same card has popped again. It's a good message for everyone, but I guess they're being consistent at this point. The Vanessa card has popped from this deck. And the Vanessa card says, to make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? And you know what? What's coming to mind is pretty much, I know what I said the last time this card popped. And it's the exact same message. It's a good message for everyone. We should always, whenever we have a choice to make, and we have choices every day, every hour, every minute. You know, we're constantly deciding what we should do. Should we do this? Should we do that? Do we buy this? Do we buy that? Do we go here? Do we go there? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? You know, do I want to wake up or go back to sleep for a little while? Do I want to go to work or leave in a little while? Do I want to leave early? Do I want to leave late? You know, it's all things. Do I buy this brand or that brand? What do I want to eat tonight? This or that, you know? And we should always be asking ourselves, what is in our best interest? Which way takes us closer to our divine purpose? Which way takes us away? What's going to be good for us? What isn't going to be good for us? These are choices we make all the time. We always make mistakes. Sometimes we regret what we're going to do. But this is an angelic message for everyone in the world. And yeah, it could be rephrased in different ways. Which way takes me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? Which way is the correct way? Which way is the wrong way? Which way works out best for me? Which way won't work out best for me? What is best for me? And sometimes that may be the harder choice to make. You know, the easy choice may not be the right way. You may say, oh, yeah, I could do this. It's really easy. I could get by. But if I take the harder way or the more difficult way or the more challenging way, it'll be more challenging, but it may be better for me in the long run. So it's a really good message for the world. All right, 9:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on the East Coast of the United States on this, what is today? Tuesday night, September 10th, 2019. I will wait just a few minutes, see if anybody else comes into the chat room and has a question, or wants a reading, not a question, because I'm doing general readings. If anybody else wants a general reading. If not, then I will wrap up for tonight and clear the cards, and we'll do it again another time. Oh, wait, looks like Tarot TV with T is in the chat room again. So I guess I will stay on. So there's my message for the world. Very, very good message for the world. So Tarot TV with T is back in the chat room and also wants a general. So yes, indeed, I would be happy to give you one. So spirits, angels, universe, please come forward. What general message do you have? What important general message do you have for Tarot TV with T in the chat room? Please come forward. And what is the message for Tarot TV with T in the chat room? What angelic message do you have? Please come forward. Now, the cards are acting weird again. That means there's an important message trying to come out. Okay. Well, this is nice. And actually, this was the card I got for myself earlier. Kind of nice to see that it popped out again. Tarot TV with T, you've got the Shanti card. Good for a general message. I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. So we all have our little challenges, our little things in life. I'm not getting anything specific. I will pull another card, but that's just a nice message. So anything that's been troubling you, anything that's been, and I'm not even getting troubling. I'm getting more like just a challenge or a concern. It's going to pass, and there's going to be a smoother road ahead. Whatever this is, again, I'm not getting anything specific, so it's not anything earth-shattering. Is there another angelic message for Tarot TV with T to go along with the Shanti card? Is there any additional clarification or even another message to go with that very nice Shanti card about the smoother road ahead? Okay, here's the one that flipped out. The Seraphina card. I think this is unrelated to this. I think this is just something to keep in mind. But this one is, Seraphina is the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. So birth, wedding, adoption, could even be getting a new pet, something like that. If you're thinking a baby's coming, or maybe you already know. This could be a case of you already know something's coming and it's going to be a happy addition to the family or change. What I sometimes say is this could also be divorce. I know we think of divorce as like a bad thing, but sometimes even a divorce is inevitable and it has to happen and it leads to good things in the future. It just had to happen. But and I say that just as in general, but I think this is more what we normally consider happiness, like wedding. And this could be as simple as Tarot TV is going to be invited or is planning on going to a wedding. You know what? I don't think it's a wedding. Or is it? I'm not sure. But, okay, so remember, by the time you hear what I've said or whatever, it's already happened and it's a few seconds later in the chat room and on the stream because there's a delay. So I see that you said that's what's up, but I gave you several different things, so I don't know what's up, but you understood it. So whatever it is, it makes sense to you, and that's a good thing. But yeah, this is definitely something that's I am getting this idea that it is attached directly with you. This is important to you, and there is going to be that smoother road ahead. So maybe that's how they're tied together. I'm going to go ahead and pull a minor. I'm being drawn to the minor arcana tarot cards. So let's see here. Spirits, angels, what? Because I consider the major arcana, and I do keep them separate as like the main message that I'm looking for. And then I look to the minor cards for like the rest of the story, as I like to say, the little details. And so for Tarot TV with T, what is the detailed? Okay, well, this is interesting. This is really, really interesting. I always separate. This is kind of weird for me. I always separate the major arcana from the minor arcana. This is the minor arcana deck in my hands. Real thick deck. The major ones, which I have separated, is a thin deck. There it is, right in front of the camera. And so when I'm looking for the additional information, I'm going through the minor cards. And sometimes this happens, and it makes no sense to me because I do keep them separated. A minor card, for whatever reason, pops out of the major deck. And vice versa. Sometimes a major card pops out of the minor, and it should not have because it's not supposed to be in there, and I do keep them separate. Well, Tarot TV with T, you got a major arcana card that was somehow in the minor deck, and I do keep them separated, and I double check before I do readings. So I have no explanation as to why this card popped out of the minor deck. But you got the Hangman. Doesn't mean you're going to be hanging. But the Hangman represents a wisdom and getting a different perspective. Obviously, if you're hanging upside down, you're going to see something from a different perspective. So I think this is tied into this happy family change, smoother road ahead. You're going to get a different perspective on things. That part of the meaning of the Hangman is what's coming through. He can also represent self-sacrifice, but I'm the wisdom is important, but I think the different perspective is the important part of the message of the Hangman that's coming out for you. That's what's like sticking in my brain right now. He can also point to someone who's authentic, like they're real. And that could be you, Tarot TV with T. So I think the fact that this major arcana card popped when it wasn't supposed to, and I'm going to be sure to put it back in with the major, because I do keep the major and the minor separate. I know other readers don't, and if it just happens, it happens. But I specifically keep them separate for a reason, because I'm looking for the main messages from the major, and I use the filler for the minor. So this is the filler message for you, and it happened to be the major card. So I'm going to take that as something important as the filler, and getting that new that new perspective is just like sticking in my brain. So I think that's what the message is for you. Okay, I'm looking in the chat room and I see, Eleni or Eleni is in the chat room. So hello, I do see you. I'm just doing general messages, so whatever comes through, if it's love or if it's something else, whatever comes through. I'm not doing any specific stuff. But yeah, for Tarot TV with T, that's what I'm getting for you. So definitely this family thing. New edition, happy change. That's important. That's like an important thing. And smoother road ahead, angel of peace. So things are going to work out. So, if there's concern, trouble, whatever, it's all going to work out fine. And actually, with this peace card, the word trouble is not really the word I would use. I would say just concern, or it's not even worry. It's more like just concern. It's more concern. It's like minor worry. It's like, is everything going to be okay? Is everything going to work out right? And this card is telling you everything's going to be fine. Smoother road ahead and peaceful. So that's what I'm getting. All right, so Eleni or Eleni in the chat room, you are next. And I think I am going to wrap this up fairly soon, because my voice is starting to crack again, so I may be a little dehydrated tonight. Spirits, angels, please come forward for Eleni or Eleni in the chat room. Selassie, what general message do you have for Eleni in the chat room that Eleni should know, or Eleni should know in the chat room? Please come forward. Okay. 2 cards pop for you. Interesting. Sometimes this just happens, like 2 cards flip out together. And they're both good. I love this one card that you got. I tend to get this one. So this angels are always telling me this one. You got the Xana card. And Xana says, you are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So if there's been something going on that's been causing a little bit of turmoil, and I'm actually getting minor, like this is not a big deal. This is just like an annoyance type thing, like something's been bugging you or whatever. You're protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So it's going to pass. Whatever's causing you to just have a little bit of anxiety or stress or whatever, it's going to pass. You're protected from all types of harm. Also, you got the Caressa card, and I think this is part of it. This is kind of like the Wheel of Fortune or the World card as far as angel messages. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. So you're protected from all types of harm. Feel safe. The worst is now behind you. You're at the end of whatever this cycle is. Something is coming to an end, and it has to end. And you call upon your angels to comfort you and guide you to your next step because happiness awaits you now. It says that, awaits you now. So happiness is there awaiting you. And when you go into that next step, you're going to be fine. So again, if there's anything that's been of concern or troubling you or causing a little bit of like stress, anxiety, giving you you can't sleep or whatever, you're protected from all types of harm. And the worst is now behind you. So whatever that is, it's now ending. And you got the smoother road ahead coming. And, it says it right here. Happiness awaits you now. So happiness is coming. So this could be anything. If this is related to relationship stuff, because you did ask about love. But maybe this is tied into that because the angels and spirits give the message that they know you need right now. I asked in general. They know what message to convey. I'm going to go ahead and pull a major arcana card to see if there's an additional important message the angels and spirits in the universe want for you to know to go along with those two cards, the Xana and the Caressa card. Okay. Now, it would have been nice if the Lover's card came out, but that's not what flipped. You actually got the opposite. You got the Devil card. And the Devil card is not a bad card. I always see the Devil card as a message to remind you of something you're doing that's detrimental to yourself. Like an addiction. And this could be any type of addiction that's holding you by its chains. You look at the picture, this man and this woman, they are chained to the devil. They're chained together. They can break those chains. They can get away if they want to. They have to make that choice. The devil is not holding them. The chains are. That's how I see it. And so you can break those chains. And I think that's tied into that Xana card, that the worst is now behind you. You break those chains and you will be free. That's what I'm getting. That's what's coming through, is you break those chains and you will be free. And happiness awaits you. Obsession. The devil talks about obsession. You could be obsessed with somebody. Or they're obsessed with you. And they've got you on a chain. And you allow them to keep you on a chain. You can take that chain off. You can break that chain and say, hasta la vista, baby. I'm out of here. The devil can also point to sexual lust. So, obsession with somebody, or someone is obsessed with you and keeps you on that chain, but you allow them because they're an addiction. So, if you've done this, you've broken that addiction, you've broken those chains, whatever they're attached to, the worst is now behind you. Xana is telling you, you can feel safe. You are safe, even though you are away from what you were attached to. And maybe you thought, and this is what I'm getting, this is what I'm picking up. It's this chain that you had to break. Maybe you've already, I get that you broke it and you got away from that devil. You got away from what was chaining you, and happiness now awaits you. But I'm not sure if this is actually. Yeah, I know you asked about romance. You were asking about love, but I don't think this is related to that. I think this is related to something else. Um, Maybe indirectly it was tied to relationships type stuff, but I think this was addiction. This was something else, and any type of addiction. Here's the story. This is what's coming through. Any type of addiction, any type of chain that you're locked into, affects everything around you. It affects your social life. It affects your family life. It affects work. It affects your life. That's what the devil does. The devil messes you up. But you can get away from it. That's the point. You don't have to be chained. You have the choice to break that chain and say, I'm out of here. And you can be free. And this Xana card is telling you, you are protected from all types of harm. This devil can't harm you. This addiction can't harm you. You can break those chains, run away. Cycle has ended. So maybe this has already happened. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. And that's general. It's not talking about love. It's not talking about family. It's not talking about work. It's in general. You break those chains. You get away from that devil. The worst is now behind you. You are safe. That's what this is about. So, and happiness awaits you. So I would say, don't worry about that. And addictions and that kind of stuff, you tend to think back, like, even if it's like, I'm glad I got away from that. Whatever that was, I'm glad I'm away from it. But you're still thinking about it. I think, the message that's coming through to me is just forget it. It's gone. You don't have to deal with it anymore. Happiness awaits you now. You broke the chains. You're away. You're protected from all types of harm. Cycle has ended. This card says it. That cycle is over. Now you move on to happiness. That's what I'm getting here. Let me just look in the chat room. Okay. So there it goes. I just saw what you wrote. It was something else. I'm no longer chained. I'm already away from it. So this message was just the angels, the spirits, the universe confirming and telling you that they've been paying attention. And I think they're telling you happiness now awaits you. You're protected from all types of harm. So if it already happened, you said it already happened. So there you go. Happiness awaits you. That's the key here. Happiness awaits you. Pretty nice when they confirm what you already know, because that's their way of saying, we've been paying attention. So they're not telling you the future. They're telling you what you needed to know so that you know that they're paying attention to you. I like when the universe does that, and they just come through like that. All right, I see Clarence in the chat room. Hello, Clarence. Yes, you can have a reading. I'm doing general readings until I sign off, which may be soon because it's now 10:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. By the way, you can always go back. This will be saved, so it will be on YouTube as a video, and I think the chat will also be saved in there. The chat is actually on a different screen. I'm not looking at it. It's not right in front of me. It's off to the side because it's a monitor, because I'm monitoring the stream just to make sure we're staying on. And so there is a delay. So I'm actually seeing it a few seconds or 30 seconds after I'm live, because that's what happens with the stream. It goes through the system and then it goes out. So by the time you actually hear things, I've already said it. It's already been done. So just keep that in mind if you're paying attention in the chat room. So Clarence in the chat room, I'm going to do you next. What angelic message, and let me just shuffle these cards up a little bit. What angelic message do we have for Clarence in the chat room? What message does Clarence need to know in the chat room? What general message? By the way, if you would like to make a donation, there is a PayPal link down in the description below. I happily accept any donations. This is not my full-time job. In fact, I'm looking for full-time work. I'm actually having a lot of difficulty right now. Spirits and angels have been very nice, giving me very positive messages, so I'm very, very hopeful that something in my career line comes forward. I am working 2 part-time jobs, which really aren't paying enough, but I have some resumes that are going out. But right now, things are very, very tough. So any donations you want to make to the channel, I would appreciate that. And I will say a very, very nice prayer for peace, love, happiness, and joy for you if I see any donations. So PayPal link is down below. It's Bill WX. My name is Bill. The WX actually stands for weather, which is scientific notation for weather, because my background is in meteorology. I'm a science person, actually, but I have personal experiences, which you can learn about by watching the intro video to the channel. Why I am in tune with this spiritual stuff, because of my own personal experiences. So, Clarence, let's see. What angelic message do we have for Clarence? No cards have popped yet. I've been shuffling while I've been talking. Oh, okay. All right, so Clarence, you got what I call the ultimate angel card. I say that only because this is what I also call my card. This is my archangel that comes to me in dreams, is my protector, is my guardian. I have dreams about this archangel. He comes to me, and many, many times when I do readings for myself, and when I'm having self-doubt and that kind of stuff, this archangel card pops. So it's very, very important for me when this card comes out, and I'm very glad that you got it, because you got Archangel Michael, who I also refer to as the head honcho. He's the ultimate protector. He protects you. And he says, I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. So to have Archangel Michael, head honcho, come out, very, very important to me. When, like I said, when he pops out, it's a very strong message. So Clarence, you have head honcho watching over you. His additional message, because these cards do have a little booklet with more information. So Archangel Michael also says, I have come to you because you asked. Because you asked God for safety and protection, and because you asked about your life purpose. Since you are a light worker, I am overseeing the fruition of your divine life purpose. You have been a light worker for a long time, and you have felt different from others, isolated at times. Be assured that you have never been alone, and that you will never be alone. When you feel pushed to make a change at work or at home, that may be my influence encouraging you to make your life's purpose a high priority. I can rearrange your schedule and support you in other ways to make your path smooth and harmonious. Simply ask me, and it is done. I will also help you feel safe and comfortable during your life's changes. So, very important message, Clarence, for you. So, just know that. I mean, that's super duper important. And when that card pops, it's really significant. I'm going to see if there's another angelic message for Clarence to go along with Archangel Michael, head honcho there. What other message do we have for... Oh, you know what? This card popped and it fits perfectly. I mean, what I just said in the extended message is just repeated. You got Indriel. So Clarence, I don't know what your deal is, but this card says you are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. And you're being watched over and helped out by Archangel Michael. Excuse me. So, you got an almost identical message. They're both related. So, I would say, Clarence, you need to make the world a better place. And you have already made the world a better place by you just being with us. Like I said, Archangel Michael watches over me. I like if I get these two cards together, and it just so happens you got them. So if you don't realize this, if you don't think you're a light worker, which that to me means that you're in touch with the spirit world, and you can help others find their light. If you don't think that, just know that you can. So maybe you know this already, or you're wondering about it. These cards are just telling you, flat out. Shine your light upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. You're a good person. You can do good for others, and you can make them happy. You can help them find their light. So there you go. That's a really powerful message. Wow. All right. Let's see. I see. Who's else? Fabiana or Fabiana in the chat room. Hello, Fabiana. I will get to you next. And after getting those two angel cards for Clarence, I just need a moment to sort of very, very, like I said, Archangel Michael card is a very powerful card to me personally, because he's my archangel and he comes to me all the time. And I get that card that card pops for me all the time in my own readings. He's always like reminding me. And so it's such a powerful message and such a powerful force that I need to just clear the room for just a moment. And I also need to get a quick drink of water. So Fabiana, hang on. I'm going to switch over to just a beautiful picture I took the other day. Actually, I'm going to change that picture, I think, to a different picture. It was a picture of the moon with some clouds, but I need to get a quick drink of water, and I need to just clear the room for just a moment after that really powerful energy of Archangel Michael. So I will be right back, literally in just a moment. Just let me get a quick drink, clear the room of that energy so I can move on, because it sort of lingers. And I will be right back. So stand by, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. See, that wasn't too long. All right. So I see, let's see, we have Jalessa, we have Noelle in the chat room, and Nyla. Okay. But Fabiana, yes, I'll get to your reading. So I just had to clear the room after that last reading for Clarence. With some very powerful energy that was in the room. I needed to get a drink of water and just clear the room of that very powerful energy that was here. It can be overwhelming, and it sort of like messes me up a little bit. And it's still sort of lingering, but I'm okay. So let me move on to Fabiana in the chat room. What angelic message do the spirits, angels, and the universe have for Fabiana in the chat room? Fabiana in the chat room. Angelic message in general for Fabiana. What message does the spirits, the universe, the angels have for Fabiana? Okay, nice card that popped. You got the Omega card, one of my other powerful cards. It's the victory card. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So if you're expecting a raise or some good news or you're hoping for something, you've got the victory card. It's going to happen. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So this could be recognition at work or something, or a good grade at school or anything like that. I'm not picking up anything like um, that energy from the last reading is still in here, and it's like it's so powerful, like it lingers, and it's like blocking this message. But I'm not picking up anything specific. But Fabiana, this would mean something to you. Victory is coming to you. Whatever this is, victory is coming. And it's keep up the good work. You're doing the right thing, and you're going to have some recognition for it. I'm going to pull a major arcana card because this is an important thing. This is like a big deal that I think. Spirits, Angels, Universe. What major arcana card goes with that Omega Victory card for Fabiana in the chat room? What's the additional or clarification message that goes along with that card for Fabiana in the chat room? Please come forward, give a message from the major arcana only. Okay. You've got the Emperor card. Now, the Emperor card, he's sitting out there on his throne out in the field. He's the Emperor, so he's very powerful. The Emperor talks about somebody who's respectful. Also talks about somebody who's a leader. Could be a father figure, or like a male boss who is really nice, kind of like a father figure. He's concerned. This could be you, Fabiana. You could be the Emperor. You're the leader. You're the respectful leader. Someone who's good at planning. Like, makes a plan, follows through, and it's correct. It's the right path to be on. And I think this is pointing to you, Fabiana. You're the one who's on the right path. You're the one who's the strategic planner. You're the respectful one. And that's going to lead you to the victory. Keep up the good work. That's what I'm getting with this. So if that resonates with you, if there's something you've been looking to... No, you know what? I'm not picking up anything like that. I think you're just on the right path, and either you are or you're going to be the Emperor. You're going to have those qualities, and there's a reason for that. You're going to be victorious, and you keep up that good work. Either this is happening now or this is going to happen. That's what I'm getting here. Whatever this is, does this have some yeah, I can't talk right when the messages are coming through this quickly, and still I've got that strong power, the very strong energy from that previous reading. But what I'm getting here is this you. This is future. You're getting to this point. This victory that's coming is going to lead you to be the Emperor. People are going to look up to you. And I do think this is tied to a work, career type stuff. If that makes sense to you, I hope it does. This could be a promotion or a raise or something like that. Higher position. I'm still getting that message. You are the Emperor. So, if that's something you're looking for, you're going to be victorious. Maybe you've put in for a raise or a promotion or something like that, or for a higher position, or you're looking to leave a job for something better somewhere else that's a higher rank. That's what I'm getting here. That's what's coming through. Of course, I'm being clouded a little bit with that previous energy, but that's what's coming through with these cards, and that's Fabiana. That's what's coming through. You're going to be the emperor. Keep up the good work. You're doing the right thing. You're going to be victorious. If it doesn't have to do with work, and that's what's coming through, but if it's something else, victory is yours. Keep up the good work. You're going to be the emperor. You're going to be respectful. You're going to be the leader. Maybe you're going to help somebody else. Maybe that's what this is about. You're going to help somebody else. But I don't think so. I think this is about you. All right. Since I'm not getting anything more and I'm not being driven to pull another card, I'm going to move on to the next. So there you go, Fabiana. I hope that helps out. Don't forget, there is the link down in the description of the page. If you'd like to make a donation, I'm not asking for donations, but they are appreciated. This is not my full-time work. I don't do this for a living, but I am having some hard times, and I am spending the time doing these readings. It's been 1 hour and 47 minutes for this set of readings. I am going to be wrapping it up soon. Let's see. So, let's see. The next one in the room was Jalessa 007. Jalessa, were you in the chat room a few days ago? I tend to remember 007. Are you like the secret agent? I remember saying to somebody in the chat room, we have a secret agent or something. Jalessa, I think that's you. So, hello there. Let's do a reading for Jalessa in the chat room. And hello, Noel and Nyla. Jalessa in the chat room. What angelic message do we have for Jalessa in the chat room? What general message do the spirits and angels of the universe have for Jalessa? And this card just flipped out. Almost got flipped over in the deck. So you got the Celeste card. The movement card, as I like to call it. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Now, a happy move to a new home or place of business, a place of employment, it could be both. Maybe you have to move for a new job. It says is in the works. So this is an angelic message. So sometimes that means it's something that's going to come up. Maybe you don't even know about it yet, Jalessa. Or it could just simply mean you're moving to a new home or a new place of employment or an upgrade. Like maybe you're going to get a promotion or something like that. In any of those cases, the movement will usher in positive new energy. So whatever this move is, upwards in the company, getting a new job, moving to a new home, or both, a better job, which requires a relocation, it's going to usher in positive new energy. So, Jalessa, that's the message that's coming in for you. I'm going to go ahead and pull a major arcana card. You know what? No. I'm going to pull a minor card to go along with that. What minor arcana card gives a little bit more detail or more information about what this Celeste card is all about for Jalessa? What additional message goes along with that card, the Celeste card, for Jalessa 007 in the chat room? From the minor arcana cards, which I consider to be the fill in the story, fill in the blanks cards. They give us the little details. Something to do with that Celeste card. What do you want Jalessa to know? Okay. This is interesting. It's one of those dark cards, but they always have light in the background, so it's something that's ending. And this card is very interesting, Jalessa. You got the Eight of Swords. The woman is blindfolded. She could take that blindfold off. Look at those wrappings around her. She's not tied up. She could take those things off. She's got those swords around her like she's trapped. but she doesn't need to be. She could take that blindfold off, take that ribbon around her off, which is not tight at all. It's something that just could fall off. She is not trapped by anything but her own mind in this picture. And in the background, there's light. The clouds are all dark and it's raining. She feels like the rain's falling on her, like she's trapped. But she's not. There's light in the background. She could take that blindfold off. She could take those wrappings off. It's all in her head with the Eight of Swords there. So, are you trapping yourself with those Eight of Swords? This is talking about being self-imprisoned, restrictions, feeling isolated, imprisonment. But it's to yourself. It's literally all in your own head. You feel like you're trapped, but you're not. You're really not. So, Jalessa 007 in the chat room. You're not trapped. You've got a happy move coming. In employment or a new home. But it does say in the works. Well, what I'm getting, what's coming through is you've trapped yourself. Take off the bandage, take off that ribbon, take off that what's tying you up, take off the blindfold. The sun will come out because there's something really good coming up. It's in the works. I think, the spirits and angels are saying, set yourself free. It's all in your head. Maybe you're worried. Maybe that's what this is. You're worried about this move or this change. But it's going to usher in positive new energy. It's in the works. It's all right there. Don't be worried. I just looked in the chat room. So you received a new job. Okay, so there you go. If you have to move, that would also fit that card. But also, if you don't have to move, if it's just a new job and you get to stay where you are, if you're nervous about it, if you're nervous about this new position, you're like, ooh, is this going to work out? Maybe this isn't what I was looking for. You're imprisoning yourself. You're trapping yourself. No, you're not. It's all in your head. This new job is going to usher in positive new energy. And of course, anything new, we tend to be a little bit stressed out and worried about, like, was this the right choice, whatever. And then you let it go, and then it becomes good. I've had a couple of jobs over the last several years, and you think that. But what the angels and spirits in the universe is saying is this is going to usher in positive new energy. So it's going to work out. Is there another angelic message for Jalessa in the chat room as a follow-up to these two cards? Because this is all in your head. You're imprisoning yourself. No one else is actually doing it. You're doing it to yourself. So let's see here. Is there another angelic message for Jalessa in the chat room? Just to wrap this reading up. What else does Jalessa need to know? Okay. This was the message to the world earlier, so you're getting the same message that the whole world got earlier. You got the Vanessa card. Just ask yourself, to make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? I think it's a simple thing. Ask yourself, is this new job going to lead you? Do you have to look at yourself, take the blindfold off, get out of the rain, get away from the swords, you're not imprisoning yourself, and say, is this going to take me closer to my divine purpose? Is this job the right direction? And don't sabotage yourself. Like, think about it. Like, is this going to help you? Is this what you really want in your heart? And if it is, it's going to lead you closer to your divine purpose. And don't sabotage yourself. If it is, then you made the right choice. Now, in your heart, if you say, no, this was not the this is not bringing me closer to where I want to be, then it's not. But I think what the message is here, I think they're just trying to tell you, since it's already happened, you got a new job. I think this is all in your head. You already know you made the right choice. You know it's going to be good. You're just trapping yourself, and you're doubting, and you're having this stress. Just get away from that. Think of it as, is it bringing you closer to your divine purpose? If it is, you made the right choice. And it will work out, because you've already got that message of it's going to usher in positive new energy. Just let this period of time go, and you'll see. I think that's what the angels are saying. I mean, this is up to you. We all have our own free will, and we can say like, oh, I got this new job, or I moved to this new home. I don't like it. I'm going to move again. I'm going to change jobs. Okay, you're free to do that. But in this message, they're telling you, here's what you need to ask yourself. And they're telling you, this change is going to usher in positive new energy. And this card is telling you any doubts, any stress, anything like that, you're bringing on yourself. No one else has actually brought that. It's all in your head. So set yourself free. All in your head. Don't be the lady out there in the rain and the dark. Wait for that storm to pass and you'll be fine. All right. So Jalessa in the chat room. All right, let's see. Who else we got in there? And I have to scroll up a little bit because Jalessa typed in a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm glad that it resonated with you. It made total sense. So let's see. Why is my computer acting this weird? Okay. So let me just see here. We did Clarence, Jalessa, Noelle. Noelle's the next one in there. Fabiana I already did. Oh, wait. Noelle, did I already get to you? I know I didn't get to Nyla. Noelle Smith, are you still in the chat room? Did I do a reading for you? I can't even remember. Okay, Jalessa, and you want to relocate? Well, maybe that's in the works. Maybe they're already setting that up for you. So there you go. That could be too. Noelle in the chat room. I can't even remember. Did I do a reading for you? Of course, I now have to wait to see if there's a message in the chat room because there's a delay. It's not exactly live. So, by the way, it's 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I've been doing readings for 2 hours, so I will be wrapping this up soon. Okay, so Noelle says no. I didn't think I got to you. So, spirits and angels, please come. Before I even asked the question, as I was going through the... because the spirits and angels, as far as I'm concerned, already know what I'm asking. Card flipped out. I was going to ask what special or important message from the angel cards do you have for Noelle, but a card already flipped. So, and you got an archangel, so it means it's an important message as far as I'm concerned. You got Archangel Raphael. And he says, I am helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. Now, physical challenges could be you had an operation, stitches, could be anything like that. Or this could also mean you're getting over something that caused you to get like a stomach ache, caused you stress and anxiety that actually made you feel sick. You're healing from that. I'm not picking up anything else, but you are a healer, and you will get over it. You're a healer like Archangel Raphael. So if there's anything that's been causing you a little bit of stress, maybe causing you to feel sick, you're a healer. You're going to get better. You're going to get over it. But if you had any type of surgery or physical issue that you're recovering from, you're going to be fine. But I'm not picking up anything else with that. I'm going to see if the angels have another message for you, for Noelle, in the chat room. Clarification for the Archangel Raphael card, or if there's an additional message that's different. Maybe to clarify. Okay, you got the Francesca card, which is the visualization card, as I like to call it. What do you desire right now? Visualize it, and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So I think this is related to something else. I don't think this is related to the Archangel Raphael, which could be something that's coming up or something that's going on. You're going to heal fine. So he's going to help you with those physical challenges, whatever that is. But I think this card is for something else. So what do you desire right now? Visualize it. It will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So if you're looking for work, if you're concerned about something in the family, I'm not getting anything in particular with this. All you need to do is visualize it, and it will come about. But don't be negative. Stay positive. Negativity will block your progress. Okay. Oh, you have an upcoming jaw surgery. Okay, well, that's a physical challenge for sure. So Archangel Michael is just saying I mean, not Michael. Wow, his energy is so strong. He just like sticks in the room. You're a healer, Archangel Raphael. I am helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. So yeah, you're going to heal fine from that jaw surgery because you're a healer. But also, you may help others who have some challenges with their health or surgeries and stuff. You can be a good person to help someone else. So maybe that resonates with you. But I think since you said you have jaw surgery coming up, I think that's what this is about. So don't worry about it. You're going to heal fine. Whatever discomfort, whatever is going on, you're going to be fine. Because you are a healer, just like Archangel Raphael. And then, whatever you want, just visualize it and stay positive, which is just a generally good message. So, there you go, Noel. Yeah, nothing in particular is coming about with that card. And you clarified this yourself in the chat, so it makes total sense that you got Archangel Raphael. It's kind of funny that that card popped before I even finished asking the angels. It just like popped right out immediately. So they already knew. So they already knew what the question was. They already knew what card was going to pop. They made it happen. All right. So that's good to know. So let's see. Also in the chat room, let's see. I did Fabiana, Jalessa, Noel. Who else? Oh, Nyla. Nyla in the chat room. Nyla, are you still there? I hope you didn't disappear. You're welcome, Noel. Glad that the messages are not necessarily about the future or the past or anything. It could just be confirmation type stuff. And I think that's what happened there, Noel. I think what happened was they gave you that Archangel Raphael card just so that my message about healing physical challenges, they just wanted to let you know that they knew who you were and they knew what was coming up. So I think that's what that was about. And that you're going to heal fine. But that was what that message was about. And then the other card was your other message. That was your message to know that you need to stay positive, and whatever you desire will come to you as long as you focus on it and you whatever good things you're hoping for will come about. Just stay positive. All right, Nyla. Nyla in the chat room. Nyla, this is interesting. When I pick up the cards to start shuffling them, I usually don't look at the bottom of the deck. I know you can't see me doing this, and I just throw the cards out there. But I usually, when I pick them up and I just start shuffling, I don't look at the bottom of the deck. But this time when I picked them up to shuffle, I immediately flipped it over and just looked at the card at the bottom. And it was just like it just happened. And I just get the feeling that this is the card that you're supposed to see. And you can tell me if it is or if it isn't. But what card was at the bottom of the deck that I just immediately like and it's a bright card, so it just caught my eye. And it's just like instantaneously, it was like a little voice said, "This is the card. You don't even need to shuffle them." You got the Daniel card. Daniel is the angel of marriage. I am assisting you right now. Nyla, are you looking for marriage? I'm just curious. Of course, I have to now wait a few seconds because it takes a few moments for it to get live on the stream. But yeah, I picked up the cards, and normally I just keep them face down and I just start shuffling them. But this time I picked them up and flipped them over. And that was the card. And it's a bright card. So it's just like it just was in my face. And like that little voice just said, "This is the card for Nyla." So, are you looking to get married? Or are you already married? If you are, I mean, this card may not be for you. But, okay. So, yeah, I just saw the message. No, not marriage yet, but relationship, yes. So, I think this relationship, because this says, "I'm the angel of marriage and I'm assisting you right now." I think this romance is going to go further. How do you like that? Not often do the cards do this to me, but this time it did. I didn't even shuffle. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards here. You know what? Instead, no. I'm going to go to the major arcana cards. Is there an additional message for Nyla in the chat room to go along with the Daniel card? Okay. Don't freak out, Nyla. I didn't have to shuffle that much. You already had a card pop out. So I think you're going to laugh when you get this card, because I already know what it stands for. You got the Empress card from the Major Arcana. Now, everybody in the chat room, do we know what the Empress card is about? Oh, yes, we do. The Empress card talks about fertility, creation, pregnancy, abundance, being a good parent. You're a parent when you're married, right? Creation. You need someone else to help you procreate. So, Nyla, you got the marriage card here with Daniel assisting you, and you got the fertility and and the good parenting and abundance card that goes along with the Empress. How do you like that? You talk about two cards that are pointing to more love and romance that's leading to something bigger and better. That's what I'm just the messenger. I'm glad the spirits and angels gave me a giggle here, because sometimes the cards come out and it's just like they complement each other so well, and it's just like you talk about a message that's just right there in your face, you know. She also represents beauty and nurturing. So, Nyla, are you going to be the Empress? Are you going to be the beautiful woman in someone's life that you're going to get married to? There, you got the angel of marriage. I'm going to go ahead and pull one more angel card just to see what they have to say. Angel spirits to go along with the Daniel card and the Empress card. What other angelic message do we have for Nyla? You didn't ask for a love reading, but it certainly turned out to be that way, didn't it? Actually, an enhancement of what you already have. If you're in a relationship, it looks like it's going to go a little bit further. Let's see. Is there another angelic message to go to Nyla in the chat room? Just to see what comes out. Alright, these cards are acting kind of weird, which usually means to me that there is an important message that is trying to come through. Okay. So I think this is unrelated, but Maybe it's to help with this marriage. I don't know. Maybe the question's going to be popped and you're going to be wondering about money because you got the Serena card. This could be unrelated too. I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. So if money is tight or you're wondering about income, know that you got the Serena card, the angel of abundance. It's going to come, and the universe, God is in charge of how that will happen. You just need to have faith. Of course, I could also argue with these two cards. Maybe you're going to get the question popped. You're going to be wondering about starting a family, after getting married. Where's the money going to come from? How's the wedding going to happen? Serena could be saying, don't worry about it. Abundance is coming. Have faith. And God is in charge of how that's going to happen. And he's already sent the Daniel card, who's assisting you with marriage. But again, it could be unrelated. This could be something that's going on now. Maybe you're worried about money or cash flow or something like that, finances. And that's just telling you don't worry about it. It's going to work out. But yeah, these two cards are definitely related. So there you go, Nyla. From me and the angels in the universe, I wish you all the luck, and I hope everything works out. Looks like we're going to have some happiness with a marriage coming up. That's what the angels are saying. You got Daniel. And the way that both of those cards came up is just interesting. They both sort of came up real fast. So that's something to think about. So let's see. We got Flower Lily. Is Flower Lily still in the chat room? There you go, Nyla. You're welcome. And Sweet Pea. Hello, Sweet Pea. I am going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes because it's 2 hours and 13 minutes of readings. So I do need to... there's still some lingering energy from an earlier read that involved a very powerful archangel energy. And I still feel that. And it's not bad. It's all good. But it's here, and I do need to get another drink of water, and I need to just clear that energy because it's so powerful. Go back and watch the rerun if you want to find out about that, because I had to take a short break after that reading. But also, since we got several people in chat room, if you would like to make a donation, there's a link to my PayPal down at the bottom in the description of the page. I don't do this for a living, but I am having some hard times right now, and I'm actually a science person, but I do have my own experiences why I do this. Again, watch the intro video to the channel, and also don't forget you can always go back and look at your signed messages for the month back in the main channel, and also in the different folders that I have, the whatchamacallits, the whatever they're called. The other parts of the channel where I can categorize them by month. So check those out. The playlists, that's what I'm thinking of. See, that energy is so powerful in here that it's messing me up. I can't think straight. So check those things out for more information. And I don't really do astrology. I noticed nobody's actually put in their sign. That's perfectly fine, because I only use the signs for categorization purpose on the main channel in the monthly type stuff. I don't really use them. I just go by whatever message the angels, spirits, and the universe want to bring forward. So that's how that works. So Flower Lily, are you still in the chat room? Because I'd love to do a reading for you, but I don't know if you're actually still there. Sweet Pea, are you still in the chat room? Because I see some people watching, but I don't know who's still there. So it takes a few moments for it to go live on the stream, from actually being live. Also, don't forget to like and share and check the bells and all that kind of stuff, so you can find out when I'm doing live stuff or when I put the signed messages up for the month. I may do a mid-month set of readings, since I've gotten so many new viewers, and I welcome everybody. Even though I'm going through some very, very tough times right now, I do find it comforting that the spirits, angels, and the universe come through with such positive messages and resonate with everybody who the messages are for. It makes me happy to know that they're there, and that they are paying attention to what we need to know and what we're deep down asking for in some cases. All right, so I don't see if Sweet Pea or Flower Lily's actually watching. By now it should have gone into the chat room out on live. So I see a bunch of people watching, but nobody's actually saying they're in the chat room. So last message was from Nyla thanking me for the reading. So let me just see if I can scroll down any further up. Okay. Nope, there's been no other messages in the chat room, so I don't know who's watching. What I will do, to just fill in the blank here, otherwise I'll wait like another 2 or 3 minutes and then I'll wrap up the reading for tonight. I'm going to use the angel cards to ask a question about... I did ask for the general message for the world earlier, so we got a message for that. What message do the spirits and angels have for tomorrow, 9/11, which is an anniversary of 9/11? What message do the spirits and angels have for the United States of America? If you could get a message out and let everyone in the United States of America see your messages from your perspective, the cosmic message from the spirits, angels, and the universe, what message would you have for the people of the United States of America as a nation? Please come forward on this little channel, Cosmic Readings and Messages, where we only have a few people actually watching. But if you could get the message out to everybody in the United States of America, what message would you have for the nation? Okay, here's the card that popped. You know what? I think I got this message the other day when I did the world or the United States too. It's funny how sometimes they're consistent, which means they're there. The Grace and Antoinette card, which is the see the other person's perspective. To help heal this situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. That's a really good message. Hello. Was that Fire in the chat room? That's a really good message. We should always all do that. That's good for the world. To help heal any situations, always try to look at the other person's point of view with compassion. We tend not to do that. A lot of people jump to conclusions, don't see the other person's point of view, or automatically think it's right or wrong. Either way, we tend to judge people over silly things, make our decisions, but we never, we tend to skip over the part where we try to see the other person's point of view with compassion, and that can lead to trouble. That leads to trouble. So we should always do that. That's good for everybody, not just the United States. But that was the message that came through. But yeah, that's it. See the other person's point of view with compassion before you jump to a conclusion, to help heal situations. See, and that's important too, to help heal situations. We can be very cruel to each other, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not intentionally. We tend to do that. See the other person's point of view with compassion. Don't jump to conclusions. So there you go. Good message for the world, for everybody. But it was for the United States. And yes, we do have a lot of that going on. We tend to say and point our fingers at each other and say things that make people hurt, and whether it's intentional or not. And we should try to heal those situations. See it from the other person's point of view with compassion. And a lot of people say that. They say they're compassionate, they say they're loving, they say they don't hate, but they actually do. or they don't really follow through with that. That you can't be going around just labeling people and calling people names and that kind of stuff. Um, so that's something to keep in mind. Look at the other person's point of view with compassion. You'll help heal the situation. Good advice. All right. So it looks like fire there in the chat room. Since I don't see anything from Flower Lily or Sweet Pea, I guess they're not watching anymore. So fire in the chat room. And hello, Brianna. 1111. Were you in the chat room before? I remember 1111 before in an earlier live reading. And by the way, I am going to be wrapping up tonight's reading soon because it's over 2 hours. But for fire, what angelic message, spirits, angels in the universe, please come forward. What message do we have for fire in the chat room? All right. These cards are acting kind of weird, so let me just organize them here and go through them again. Oh, okay. Wow, third time tonight. Third time's the charm, I guess. Third time this card has popped tonight. This was the message, I think, for the world? Or something earlier on, and then somebody else got this card. And now, fire, you got it too. You got the Shanti card. And again, I like this card. I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. So fire, if there's anything that's been sort of holding you up or causing some stress or whatever, it's going to go. You got the angel of peace and a smoother road ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull another angelic card for fire. See if there's anything else to go along with the Shanti card. Is there any other message to go along with Shanti that fire needs to know in the chat room? All right, let me just organize these cards a little bit here. All right. Okay. Well, this is good. You got the Azure card. Fire. Fire got Azure. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. So if there's something that you're hoping for, it's going to happen. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. You just need to have patience and faith, and don't force it to happen. I think that's going to lead to your more peaceful and smoother road ahead. Fire. Good message. Good message. Your desired outcome will be coming in the very near future. So again, something you're hoping for is going to happen. It's going to be good. So there you go. Hello, Bridget in the chat room. These are general readings only. I may do questions on another day, but I'll be happy to do just a general reading for you. So there you go, fire. I'm not being drawn to like pull any other cards. I could, but I think this was the important message for you, especially this one. Whatever you've been hoping for, it's going to come true. It's going to come to fruition in the very near future. You just need to have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. So whatever this is, what you're desiring, don't try to make it happen. Don't try to sabotage. You know what? That's what I'm getting. If you try to force whatever you're wanting to happen, like maybe a new job, or this could be romance. This could be. I'm actually getting job, but that could be leftover residual from a previous thing. But I think whatever you're desiring, it's going to come to fruition. And that part about don't try to force it to happen, I'm getting don't sabotage it. You need to have patience and faith. Don't try to force it to happen. And I'm getting sabotage. You could sabotage what you want to happen if you try to force it to happen. So I think that's the important message, fire. And if you have patience and faith, it's going to happen the way you want it to. And that's going to lead to your peace and a smoother road ahead. But they're not telling me what this is. So this is for you to know and not for me to know. So it could be anything, but I think you understand what this is about. So there you go, fire. And yeah, I'm not getting drawn to like pull any other cards. Okay. And I see you said thank you, so you are welcome, fire. Let's see, Brianna, 1111. Um, you're new to the channel. Okay, there was somebody else who had 1111 in their name last week. Then let's see here. What message do we have for Brianna 1111? Brianna 1111 in the chat room. Okay, well, that was fast. Card immediately popped out. You got the Rosetta card. Yes, Bridget, I do see you in the chat room. I'm doing just general readings. Signs really don't mean anything to me. I just use them for categorization in the monthlies. I'll just ask the angels, spirits, and the universe for you. But for Brianna, you got Rosetta. Nice card. Maybe this means something to you. Got the nice little child there. Rosetta card says you have a gift for working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or parenting children. So you've got a bond with children. So I hope that resonates with you, Bridget. Brianna. That's what came through. So if you're wondering, like maybe for a job or something, teaching children, or you're wondering if you'd be a good parent, like maybe you're wondering about having a child or something, it says you're going to be good at it. It's going to be fine. Anything that has to do with kids, children, you're going to be good. I'm going to pull... What am I... my hands is on the angel cards here. Let me see if there's another angel message for Brianna to go along with that Rosetta card. Is there anything, like a clarification or additional information about the Rosetta card? Okay. So maybe this does have to do with work, or maybe you're thinking about having a child. I don't know. But you got the Caressa card, which is the cycle card. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune or the World card. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. So whatever, and I think this has something to do with children, either parenting or teaching children. They're saying you're a good parent or you're a good teacher, and you're entering the end of a cycle in your life. So, and there's good things ahead. Happiness awaits you now. This came up for somebody else in a previous reading, but I'm getting the message here for you has to do with this. So, I'm getting something about special needs child. I don't know if your child has special needs, or you know someone who has a child with special needs and you're helping them. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but special needs just came into my head, and you're maybe have to devote more time or something like that. Or a medical issue or something like that. I don't know what that's about. It has something to do with spending more time with the child. I don't know. Of course, this is taking a few moments to go into the chat room, so maybe this resonates with you. Maybe it has something to do with something you know about, but it could also be you help someone else, another parent, with their special needs child, because you're so good at working with children. You're giving them advice or something, but maybe this has something to do with you. I don't know. Why did that come to mind? Some type of issue with the child, and you may have to spend more time with them or something. And this might be something in the future. This may be something that's coming up, and that came to mind because it's like a heads up that maybe there's going to be an accident or something. As much as I don't want to say something like that, but something's going to happen where you're going to have to spend more time with the child because you're really good, but something's going to happen. It's just something about more time is going to be needed or something like that. That's what I'm picking up. So we'll see what happens, or maybe this has meaning for you right now. I don't know. So there you go, Brianna. That's just what came to mind with these cards. But there is something about this cycle, and spending more time is in there. And you're going to call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. And happiness will be there. Whatever is happening, you're going to get through it, and there's going to be happiness. And again, this is sort of one of those dark type cards, but there's always the light in the background. So it's the light at the end of the tunnel type thing. So, yeah, whatever the issue is, you're going to be a good parent, and you're going to get through it. You may have to spend more time with that child. That's what I'm getting, the whole time thing, more time with the child. So there you go, Brianna. So that makes, okay. So you're saying your son is having some issues. So, okay, so that makes sense now to you, and to me too. That's what those cards meant. Okay, let's see. We did Fire Bridget, Brianna, I mean, and Bridget K wants a general reading. Hello there, Priscilla. I've been doing these readings for over 2.5 hours, so I will be wrapping up soon. So I will see if I can get to you, but we'll just see how it goes. But right now, I want to get to Bridget K in the chat room. Spirits, angels, please come forward for Bridget K in the chat room. What message, what important angelic message do you have? 2 cards have flipped. Okay. 2 cards came out together. You got Opal and Akasha. I really love these cards. Okay, first of all, your Opal card says, that's this card, your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So if that means anything to you. Now, if you don't have actual human children, that's okay, because sometimes with this card, and I'm not picking it up, it could also mean pets, because some people consider their pets their children. And there's no picture of an actual pet or an animal in this picture, but sometimes that's what that could mean. But your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and his angels. So that's just a message for you that came out. But you also have the Akasha card. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission with the Akasha card. Very, very nice card. So, if you don't realize it, Bridget, you are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help others awaken their spiritual gifts. If not, you're really good at helping others. And sometimes what this card means to me is you may not realize it, but you are being watched over by angels, and they are guiding you to help others that you may not even realize. So you're a spiritual teacher, and you may not even know it. Sometimes that's what that card means. You may know it, you may not know it, but know that the angels, the universe, the spirits are there, and they're guiding you to help others. And it could be a variety of different ways. You don't have to be an actual counselor. You could just be the good friend who helps somebody else get through a troubled time, or a child get through a troubled time, or something like that. So that's what that card means. I'm not picking up anything else. I'm not being driven to pull another card, although I'm going to go ahead and pull a major arcana card just to see if there's any other important message for Bridget K in the chat room to go along with those 2 cards. Let's see. All right, here's the card that sort of flipped out, but it didn't fly across the room, and it wasn't that exorbitant in its appearance. But I'm going to flip it over and see what it is. All right, you got the Empress card, which is, it adds to this. It's like you're a good parent. You're good with kids. It could also be fertility. If you're looking to have a child, that card points to that. It can also point to abundance. She's comfortable. The Empress is happy out there. Um, and in just general, like, she's content. She's happy. So you're good at helping others. You're a spiritual worker, teacher, if you know it or not. You're good at helping others, and you're just content. So there's nothing that's like earth shattering that's coming through on this. So, um, yeah, there's no issue. There's no like there's no message that's like wow, or the angels and spirits are not coming to me and saying like you need to focus on anything in particular. So Bridget, I think everything is just fine. If you have children that are no longer with us, know that they are being watched for, and also on Earth. So, and again, that could also be pets. For some reason, I'm driven to say that sometimes because some people consider their pets their children. But again, this is important too. You're a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts, and you're able to help others and help them see their own potential. If you don't want to think, it speaks for itself. Okay, so I see what you wrote in the chat room. So you hope to be a mom someday. So you're going to be good, and they're going to be watched over by God, the angels in heaven, and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to be a good parent. So they're giving you a heads up then. So that's what that's all about. So if you've been thinking about that, it's been on your mind that, the spirits and angels of the universe are just coming forward and letting you know. So that's, in general readings, that's what sometimes happens. Just the way it goes. Sometimes they're earth-shattering messages, and they're important. Sometimes they're just comforting or clarifications on something you've been thinking about. So it's as simple as that. Let's see. We have Priscilla in the chat room. Hello, Priscilla. I'll wave to you. And Priscilla is going to be the last one because it is 11:09 Eastern time. So it's getting late. I am getting kind of tired now. And there's a lot of energy in the room, so I do need to clear that and get a drink. So Priscilla in the chat room. Spirits, angels, universe, please come forward. What message do you have for Priscilla in the chat room? What important message do you need to convey to Priscilla right now? And here's what popped. This is interesting. I picked up the cards, and one card was sitting there, but I'm not being drawn to it. I didn't pick up all the cards. One was still sitting there. But anyway, you got the Astara card, which I call as the Reach for the Stars card, because it is somebody reaching for the stars. And it says, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. I'm being drawn to read you the additional message for that. So let me go grab the book for the Astara card, which I love. It's a really, really nice card. But yes, you got the Astara card, which says, in addition to that message, in the past, you have settled for less than what you wanted, but no more. I'm here to raise your standards. I'm also here to show you that you need to, that you not suffer in any way. It isn't selfish to desire a little better life, a better life, not a little better life, a better life. Yes, my eyes are not working too well tonight. The more you receive, the more you are able to give to others. When you allow us to give to you, you're also supplied with all of the necessary tools for your life's purpose. You also inspire others when you show that the spiritual path gives you all of the support that you could ever need. Again, there's a lot of energy in here, so it's like it's getting in the way of things. God and the angels want you to enjoy your life. Happiness is a holy part of your divine mission. So they want you to be happy. Whatever we can do to bring joy and peace into your life, please ask. So again, just ask the angels there. Ask for help. Perhaps you felt that you didn't deserve good, or you would be taking away from someone else if you needed our help. Yet, God only knows abundance, and humans are the only ones who believe in scarcity. So, this card is a reminder that God, the universe, the angels, can only intervene if you request our help. So just remember, if you ever feel that way, Priscilla, ask for help. The universe is there for you. You're not taking it away from anyone else. You're not being selfish. And you deserve the best. Reach for the stars. And whenever you need help, you just ask. And the universe is letting you know that they're there for you. Because you deserve the best. That's the important message here. I'm being drawn to the minor arcana cards that are piled up here for like a fill-in, like additional information. So for Priscilla in the chat room, Priscilla in the chat room, what message from the minor arcana cards do you have to be in addition to the Astara card there? Just to give a little bit more information that she needs to know. Okay, beautiful card. I love these. You got an ace. Ta-da! You got the Ace of Swords. Now, the aces are always the gifts from the universe. It's like the universe just hands it out and says, here you go. So you got the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords... Now, some of the Swords cards, they can be kind of dark and they talk about things in your head and whatever. The Ace of Swords is talking about a new idea. It can also be a new conflict. But I don't think that's what this is. It can also point to mental clarity. So maybe you're thinking, like you've got a thought that's, your mind is open now. And you've got a new idea or something. You're reaching for the stars. The Ace of Swords can also literally talk about surgery. So if you are... if there's... That's not coming in clear, but if you need surgery, know that it will be the right thing to do. That's what I'm told to say. If like you've got something going on where surgery is a possible solution, know that this sword, this gift, is from the universe. So it's going to be good. You're going to be given a gift with this surgery that something will be made right. I'm not sure if that's what this is. I think this is more about what I was talking about before, though. The Ace of Swords representing mental clarity and new ideas. I don't think it's about conflict. I don't think it's about surgery, but it could be. But you're going to be fine that way. But I think it has to do with more about the ideas and whatever, and reaching for the stars. I think that's what this is all about. So, I see Chad Mora Tarot in the chat room. So hello there, Chad Mora. I'm just about to wrap up my readings for tonight. You came in apparently just as I said that was my last one. But I'll fit you in. I'm not doing any specific questions. I'm only doing general. But I will ask for a general message for you, just to see if it has to do with your online course or whatever. We'll see if that's the message that comes through. But I'm only doing general, not specific questions. I'll do them on a different night. Once again, if you feel inclined to, you can make a donation to the channel down in the link. The PayPal link is down in the description. Also, don't forget that this will be saved, so it will wind up in the playlist for September. Once YouTube does its little whatever it does behind the scenes and switching things to be available for playback and whatever. But I will do for Chad Moritaro in the chat room a quick general reading. So what do the spirits, angels, and the universe have for Chad Mara Tarot. And here's the card that popped. Um, Again, I'm only doing general tonight, so I'm just asking for a general message. You got the Sonia card. I just love these cards, and I love when this pops because it is a message from your deceased loved one, whoever this is. If there's someone you've been thinking about on the other side, they're saying, I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So this is a message from somebody on the other side. They just want you to know, if you've been thinking about them, they're at peace, they're happy, they love you very much. Don't worry about them. Sometimes that has to do with somebody who passed, that you were worried about them, or you were worried for yourself. You weren't there when they passed and you wished you were, or it was a sudden passing and you didn't get to say goodbye or something like that. Or it could just simply mean it's a message from a loved one on the other side that maybe you had a dream about recently or something like that. And they're just letting you know they're there and they're happy and at peace and they love you very much. So that's just a nice message. I will pull... Oops, sorry if I hit the mic there. Let's see if there's another angelic message for Chad Mara Tarot in the chat room. Okay, here's what popped out. You got the Merlina card. You are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So if there's something going on where you're a little bit confused or indecisive, you need to do some research, which we could argue is also studying. Seeking expert advice, which could be seeking the advice of a teacher, since your question had to do with an online course. Maybe this is part of the answer to that. Before you make your decisions on what you need to do. I don't know if you're going to pass the course or not, but maybe there's some indecision or some questions that you need to seek some advice for. So that's how I could actually take that card. I will pull one more card, which is from the main arcana. So what main message do you have for Chad Morrow Tarot in the chat room to go along with these two cards? Main message from the major arcana, because I do separate them. I look for important messages from the major arcana, and I get the filler and the more details from the minor cards. So that's how I do it. That's what works for me. And so, okay. The card that popped, it's interesting. You got the death card. Don't worry, it doesn't mean you're going to die. Since you're Chad Mara Tarot, you know it doesn't mean actual death. And I always look at these dark cards like this, and people think, "Ooh, scary, whatever." There's always light of some kind in the background. The death card, and of course it is kind of a grim picture. You got somebody dead there, and you got the people that are in sorrow. But death happens. It happens. It happens for a reason, and there's always a rebirth. There's something that replaces it, something new. So it's kind of like the Tower card in that, it's an ending. Tower card is like an abrupt ending or a violent ending or something like that, but it's always for a reason. The death card always points toward a rebirth. You have to have death to have a new beginning. Something has to die, and then something else takes its place. And that's how I always see that card. That's what it represents to me. It has that bright background. There's the brightness in the background, the light at the end of the tunnel. You get past this period of death, the darkness, the ending of one thing, and then you move on to the next. And it's usually something better. Something is being replaced for the better. Something fresh and new and good. So that's what that card represents. And maybe that has something to do with this card here. I don't know. The decision or something. Something is ending. Something new is beginning. So that's the message I'm getting. Again, I'm just doing general stuff today. Maybe I'll do specific questions at another point. But there you go. It's 11:22, so I've been doing this for almost 3 hours. So I'm getting tired. There's a lot of energy in the room. There's still some residual leftover energy that was sort of messing me up a little bit from an earlier read that was Archangel Michael. And like I said earlier on, if you weren't in the room, if you weren't on, then very, very powerful energy for me. He's one of my archangels. He comes to me in my dreams, and he watches over me. He's a protector. And when that card pops, it's a very, very powerful energy for me, and it's a very powerful energy that is in the room. And it's still here, and I'll probably be dreaming about him. He'll come to me in a dream tonight with a message. But that residual energy has been clouding things just a little bit since that part of the reading tonight. Other messages were coming through, but it's just it's not that I'm unfocused, but his energy is so overwhelming. It's just it just sits there for a long, long time. Even though I did have a little break, I got a drink of water and I cleared the room, and I even changed the video for a short period of time and came back. That residual stuff is still there. So when he comes out, it's really, really important. And what do you know? I just picked up the angel cards, and guess what card was at the bottom of the deck? As soon as I picked it up and looked at the bottom card, it was Archangel Michael. He was sitting right there. He's looking at me right now. So, yeah, that energy just sits there. So I'm actually shuffling through the cards now to put him somewhere else in the deck because that's what happens. So anyway, I am going to wrap up the readings for tonight, but I like to end off with a message for everyone. Just remember, the spirits, angels, the universe are always there. I know some people are believers. Obviously, if you come to the channels and you're watching, you're a believer. But some people aren't. My background is science, and I mean facts, figures, proof, evidence, that kind of stuff. But I've had my own life experiences that have led me to the path where I am at peace with the other side and with the angels and spirits in the universe, as I like to call them. Watch the intro video to the channel for more information. I have crossed over more than once, several times. I've been to the other side. I've been clinically deceased, and I knew I was coming back each time. And this is actually in a hospital and being resuscitated and that kind of stuff. I knew I was coming back. So I have my own personal experiences. I see things, I hear things. I do get the readings through the cards to help focus messages. But, and so that's part of my background. Again, watch the intro video to the channel. I don't really do astrology because I don't follow that. Again, I'm more of a science person, but I can't deny my own personal experiences. So that's why I do this kind of stuff. Right now I am having some trouble with work and also finances because I'm in between jobs, as they say. So if you want to make a donation to the channel, it would be appreciated. And every time somebody does make a donation, I do a very special prayer for that person when I see it in the PayPal thing. I do a very special personal prayer for that person. That I don't send to them or anything, but I do it because I do have this very strong connection with the other side and the spirits and angels, and it's a very, very nice prayer dealing with peace and love and happiness for eternity for that person. So I do that whenever I get something in the PayPal bin. So if you want to do that, there's a link down in the bottom of the channel, down in the description for the PayPal link. If you want to just subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, ring the bells, do whatever to find out when I'm doing readings or posting recorded stuff, just go ahead and do all that kind of stuff. Sorry, let's see, Sident Gertie in the chat room. I just finished up my readings for tonight. I do have to sign off. I've been going for almost 3 hours. So I will be doing more in the future, so feel free to join me then. But right now I will switch over to a rather beautiful picture of the clouds that I took a couple of nights ago with sun rays, crepuscular rays as they call them, between the clouds nearby. So I'll switch over to that, and thanks everyone for watching and listening. Peace, love, happiness to all of you. Remember, the spirits and angels are always around you, and know that they're there. Know that they are there. Um, and if you talk to them, if you dream about them, they're letting you know they're there and they do hear you. So if you're talking to yourself and you're wishing for things, spirits and angels in the universe are all there listening to you. So just be positive, okay? Lola Lena just popped into the chat room. So this always happens. I'm wrapping up the night, wrapping up the readings, and people come in. I've been doing this. I'll say this one more time before I switch over to the pretty picture of clouds, and then I'll sign off. You came in right at the very end, so I've already finished for tonight. I have to clear the energy in the room. It's also very late, so I'm getting tired. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the thank yous in the chat room. Um, and I will be in the tonight was just general reading, so no questions. However, if you want to type something in the chat room that I can type back, I will type back in just a few moments, but I'm going to switch off. So thanks again for watching and have a good night.